What's up, guys? We are back for another review, and today we're taking a look at some brand new, very new Black Series from Hasbro, and we're going to kick things off with, I guess, maybe the most anticipated, or at least my most anticipated. That would be Bespin Han Solo. So this is obviously a very new figure. He is using that photo real tech, so this is our first photo real Han Solo figure in the line, so it's got a lot to live up to. We've got standard Black Series packaging, we've got some artwork on the front, we've got Han in the window, he's number 70 in the line, and then the back has that same artwork along with a very short write-up in multiple languages. So let's pull him out and take a look. Alright guys, here he is, Bespin Han Solo, out of the package, and this one is one that I have been looking forward to, one I've been wanting because, well, it's a new Han Solo figure, and who doesn't want more Hans? But it's also a very iconic look for Han. It's among my favorites, probably my favorite, honestly, when it comes to his different looks. And not to mention the kind of odd timing of being able to get this figure while it's supposed to be coming out at San Diego Comic-Con as an exclusive with all the extras. So it's kind of weird to get this guy in his singular retail release before Comic-Con. So we're going to do all the normal stuff. We're going to do articulation, paint, and sculpt. Obviously, we're going to talk about this face sculpt, but we're going to do articulation first, and it's basically what you would expect. We're not seeing anything special or different here in any way. It's kind of standard boilerplate for Black Series. So starting with the head, we have got the new method that they're doing Black Series, at least for the most part. I'm not sure all of them are like this, but quite a few recent figures have been double ball pegs that go from the neck to the head, and that's what we've got here. So you can move him all the way around, pretty much unencumbered. He's got wobble side to side, but the neck is actually articulated as well. The neck is moving with the head. It's not just a static piece. I believe it looks like it's a ball peg down into the chest, clavicle, shoulder area. We can move the arms out, swivel around. We have no bicep swivel because it's a Black Series, but we've got elbow rotation, and we have a single jointed hinge. We have a side-to-side hinge and rotation at this wrist. He has a upper diaphragm swivel, and he can also kick back a little bit and forward. There's nothing at the waist. This joint was actually very, very tight when I got him out, so much so that I thought he didn't have any torso articulation, but I finally kind of broke the seal, I suppose. And then this hinge on this wrist here is a vertical up and down style hinge, so they are two different opposing hinges on those wrists. Legs can go out pretty decently, I mean more so than Han Solo's ever going to need. Kick forward, pretty decent on the backswing. Thigh cut, of course, and we have got standard Black Series double jointed knees. Pretty good range of motion there. There is nothing at the boot, which is kind of normal. We've got rocker, and we have got hinge at the ankle. So like I said, he is your basic Black Series figure, but I think he's got it where it counts. I don't know if that's a pun for Han Solo or not, but it kind of is. So he's basic when it comes to articulation, but he does have that kind of new style that they're going with, which is kind of the norm going forward, but it is quote-unquote new for the Solo modern era of Star Wars. As far as paint and sculpt on this guy go, I think he is rather well done. We'll talk about the face last. Obviously, that's what people want to know about. That's what people want to see. Does it look like Harrison Ford? But the rest of the figure, I think, is really well done. It's very nice. The figure from a toy perspective is pretty solid. I don't have any issues really from the neck down. I think it looks really, really great. So we've got his black boots with a nice leathery, like kind of wrinkle effect going on in the sculpt. We've got his brown pants with the yellow striping that goes down both sides. He has his holster, and it has quite a few kind of rivets and the buckles, and all of the silver paint apps on it are very clean. They look good. But the big thing for me with the holster, the belt, is that the leathering effect looks fantastic. This is very similar to what we see with some of the more recent Marvel Legends figures that have leather pouches or leather things on their body. They have a nice kind of marbling paint job to make it look like faux leather. And of course he does have the actual holster, and it will just peg in, so you could pop this in and you can put the gun inside of the holster if you wanted to keep it on his person and not in his hand. He does have the kind of white shirt with the varying kind of layers of fabric that go over it. I think it looks really well done. A lot of sculpting in there, a lot of wrinkles. The jacket is a separate piece that sits over top, but it's the sculpted arms with a jacket piece, so it's not all one thing. The arms are themselves, and then the jacket is another thing to give the appearance of a jacket. It's not just a jacket. And I think it's very, very well done. It's a nice navy shade of blue. Looks really good. A lot of paneling on it, a lot of line work, a lot of wrinkling, a lot of texture, and overall, I think the actual figure, again, from the neck down, looks just great. All right, so the big thing that everybody wants to know, everybody cares about, how's the face, how's the head sculpt, how's the printing technology, does this look like our Han Solo, does this look like Harrison Ford? And sort of, but sort of not. So my big deal with this is it's just basically what it is. The likeness is missing something. So from certain angles, I can kind of see him. I can kind of see Harrison Ford certain ways. Some ways I can. Dead on, I really have a hard time seeing it. Something about it just doesn't look right. And I've been kind of worried since I saw the promo pics for SDCC that there was something kind of weird going on here, and I still can't quite put my finger on it. I just know that it's not Han Solo and it's not Harrison Ford. Now, from a technical perspective, everything here is nicely done. You know, if I wasn't judging this by likeness, I would say that this is a pretty solid head sculpt, honestly. Details are very finely done. Got a great set of paint applications here. Everything is clean and collected and straight, and it all looks fine. It's just the likeness department that everything sort of falls apart for me. And like I said, I can sort of see it in a few angles here and there, kind of a glimmer of Han Solo, of Harrison Ford coming into being, but other times it's just immediately lost. So there's definitely something to be desired here. I just don't think that they got the likeness down perfectly. It's definitely missing something in terms of his look and his feel and what makes this character Han Solo and what, gives Harrison Ford that distinct look. One positive for this particular piece, though, is something that I think they've been doing pretty consistently for a little while now, is that the hair is a different piece, so it's not part of the head sculpt. You can actually kind of pry it up if you wanted to. Don't do that, though. So it's different. It helps with paint applications. It keeps things very clean. There isn't a lot of shading in that hair, though. There really shouldn't be either, so it's not a pain point, just something to point out. So, yeah, the head sculpt on a technical level is pretty solid. The sculpts are usually there for Hasbro. This one looks pretty good, but the likeness, paint applications, they just don't really bring Han Solo to life in figure form for me. Now, for accessories, this is a quick part. He has one. He has his blaster pistol. He can hold it in his right hand. He has a trigger finger, so we've got kind of a gunmetal-y type black plastic with some brown paint applications for the handle. We've seen this before. Nothing too crazy, nothing new. It's all he should have. There's really nothing else to give him. So that works just fine. You can put it in his hand, or you can throw it in his holster. And just for the sake of comparison, here is the new Han with a few other Hans. I don't have the young Han still, though that may change coming soon. But we've got the original Han Solo figure. This is not the vintage reissue. This is the original. And then this is obviously old Han, and you can kind of see a progression. This Han looks very much toy-like, rubbery, plasticky. We can see that they stepped up their game a little bit here with old Han. So this is definitely the best Han, I think. I still think it's the best that we've got. But that doesn't change the fact that I think the likeness is just still kind of wonky and definitely not 100% there. And I think in general that compared to the rest, the body sculpt on this is better too. Although I still have a soft spot for this one over here. So overall, I've got a very like-dislike situation going on with this figure, I think. From the neck down, like I said, I think it's pretty solid. I like everything about his look and his feel, his outfit, paint apps, articulation. It's all what I expected from this particular version of Han Solo, and I think Hasbro delivered there. I just think they missed the mark on the face and the likeness. It's just something is missing there, and it's really, really hard to put my finger on because it is kind of subtle. I feel like one small tweak maybe could have pushed this thing over the edge. There's just something about it that definitely doesn't look like Harrison Ford. And that is obviously very unfortunate. It definitely brings this figure down a bit. I'm not going to throw him out or anything. He's not being removed from my collection. He's still going on the shelf. He's going to go with Bespin Luke, and he's going to go with Lando, and he's going to go with Boba Fett, and he's going to build that little Cloud City grouping of characters for me. But I do wish that they could have kind of stepped it up a bit on that face. I don't know what I would suggest to make it better. I just know that it definitely doesn't look like it for me. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Bespin Han figure from Hasbro. Let me know what you think, guys. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.